Hey guys, welcome back to Bearded Lumber. Matthew and I appreciate you tuning in. Today we're doing some hickory over here on our winding motor. Gonna be something unique, so come right back. We'll talk about what we're gonna do and how we're gonna get there. Okay guys, welcome back. Today's video is all about hickory. If you've ever run some of this, it's definitely the hardest species in western North Carolina. It's not the hardest by far, but it's a very difficult wood on your equipment. This wood, it has silica, and everybody knows silica is basically sand. It has silica in the wood itself, which makes it hard on your saw blades, your planer knives, and everything else. We can tell the difference sawing this with our wood miser. If we're using 3 blades a day, kind of on average, we'll use 6, 7, 8 on a day sawing hickory, because it literally just wears the top of the tooth off as you're going through it. Now on our motor over here, everything we're running is carbide except for our side cutters, because we're just S4S in this, but they are a shallower slope, 12 degree, high-speed steel designed to handle this. Carbide would be better, but we don't have the carbide side cutter heads for 4-inch knives. We will eventually, but today we're going to run high-speed steel for the side cutters, and we're not taking much off. These 20 boards are going to become a beautiful dining room table. We cut them green, 8.5 wide, 2.5 thick. Our goal is kind of wherever we want to end. I'd like to leave them as thick as possible and as wide as possible. Any number matters. If we finish at 2 or 1 7/8 or 1 3/4, if we finish 8, 7/8, 7 3/4, any of those is good as long as they're all the same. So that's the goal, is to make all 20 of them equal, except for these 2 out here. They got a little live edge, but we'll still get the thickness dead on. So we got our machine set up to run them at 8 1/4 wide and 2 1/4 tall, and we're just taking a little bit off. Could we get it in one pass? Probably not. We could definitely get it in 2, but we're shooting for 3 passes because we want these perfectly straight and level. And to not overtax the machine, we're just going to take 3 light passes to get us exactly where we want. Most important, being square. I want them perfectly square. When they put them together, poof, there's no bow or no section that didn't get squared. If you look down this log, you can see kind of a wavy cut. It may be exaggerated a little bit because of the way it dried, but that's not a good square cut. The other side is much better, and it's still not square. So that's part of the goal, is get these squared up, guys. Let's walk in here and we'll take a quick look at the machine, and we're going to get to running them. Okay guys, let's go over just a little more in depth of what we've got our machine set and how. We'll start right here with the height gauge. And this is not a dead number, it's kind of plus or minus, but we can adjust the height here, up and down. And that's set at about 2 1/8. And what that does, that puts the right space between this roller and the deck so that these teeth grab your piece of wood and pull it through. Now this knob here adjusts the side fence in and out. And we've got it set to take a pretty good cut off the inboard side. And then this one, Matthew hold the camera, this one adjusts the height of this table in relation to this cutter head. You can see how low it goes versus, that's pretty much a 0 cut. That's all the way down to like a 3/16. We're gonna start taking about 40 thousandths with our front cutter. This is our inboard side cutter. You can see it's a straight knife. Got a knife, a filler, and then another knife. And this will take that 1/8 inch off the inboard face. Then the outboard cutter is the same thing. And we have it a known dimension from here to that fence is 8 1/4 inches. Once it passes through there, we'll get to our top head. Now this top head is going to take off, we're set to 8 1/4 thickness. It's going to take off the difference between that front cutter and here minus 20 thousandths. So this should be at 8,450, and then the final cutter head is set for 20 thousandths above the deck, and that'll take us down to our 8,250, 8 1/4. I hope that makes sense. You have to bake in this number here because this number's fixed. It can't change. It's 20 thousandths more than whatever you end up with on the deck. So I can vary this cutter head back here depending if I want to take more off the bottom or more off the top. Whatever I don't take off the bottom is all coming off the top minus the 20 thousandths. So if I put in a board that's 8 1/2 inches, 850 thousandths, and I take 60 off the front, 20 off the bottom of the back, 80, the balance is coming off this top cutter head. And that's how occasionally you'll see us have to pull this off. I'll stick it against the cabinet and it'll increase the volume here. If we get to taking too much off the top, this one will get overloaded. So, okay, here's our 2 test pieces we run. You can see this one missed just a little bit there. The finish, you know, it didn't completely clear. We knew that. And this side is excellent clear. Same thing here. We could have cut just a little bit more. This side cutter didn't clear. That face looks good, but that side's perfect, almost. We won't be taking much off this side when we cut it again, but our goal is to sneak up on it, not try to take it all at once, okay? But these are beautiful. They're extremely old. The grain is so tight, you can't even see it between each ringlet. We estimated it 300+ year old stuff, so we're gonna treat it with respect and go very gentle, very slow with it. Anything I think that's about it, guys. For us to run this, if you hadn't watched any of our videos, this top panel, this is our blowers. This machine's got 2 480-volt fans up here, and they tie into a 6-inch main that goes right across the building, and then it ties into our 10-inch main. So we get ready to run, we'll turn on that outside blower, and then we'll turn these 2 on. They'll get it up into the system, and then that outside blower will take it, and it'll end up out here in a pile. You cannot run one of these machines without some vacuum system. They make an astronomical amount of chips. Even light passes makes a lot of chips. But that's the function of our winding. If you got any questions, leave them. I'm sure you have some. I still have them myself. But if you can run a sawmill, you can learn how to run one of these. It is another career path. There's a lot of stuff you need to learn. When Matthew and I bought this machine, I begrudgingly spent the money and went to a 2-day seminar at Whining. It was worth every penny. The only thing I wish we'd have done it a little bit closer to we were getting ready to start. We were a couple months ahead of the machine actually being ready. So we forgot some of the knowledge, had to go back and relearn, but well worth the money. So that's it. We're gonna fire it up, start making some sawdust. Okay, that first pass is pretty good. Right there at the end, you see me hit it with a 4x4. And that's only because I had a couple boards that had a big wave in them, and they were extremely thick. I had to open up the front cutter just to get them to go in, and then when they started going through, the thin parts wouldn't grab good on these wheels, so I kept it through. Shouldn't have that trouble anymore because now they're all the equal size. Next thing we're going to do is Matthew's going to readjust the thickness. Right now we're at 2 1/4. We're going to take that down to 2 1/8, 2.125. We're not wanting to be in a hurry about stripping material off. And this stuff is hard. Same thing here. You can see it, we're 8 1/4 wide. We're going to take that down to 8 1/8. That's a very minor adjustment. If we was doing this in pine, we'd probably hog it off in one cut. But this is not pine, it's hickory. And pine has no value compared to this hickory. This is a once in a lifetime tree. If you watched our burley maple video, and I know tons of you have, that was a once in a lifetime maple. Well, this hickory, guys, is a once in a lifetime hickory for Matthew and I. I doubt we ever see another 300-year-old hickory. Just don't think we will. I'll try to remember to go in there and cut maybe a piece of end grain off so you can see how tightly grained this is. It is ridiculous. So we're treating it with the respect it deserves. We're going very slow. Customers not concerned about the cost. If it takes 2 or 3 times to run it, they're fine. They want a primo product, and that's what we're going to deliver. So, got our machine set. I've got Matthew put all the good square edges on the outboard side, so I'm going to pick them up, run them through. Probably change the adjustment here for sure. We probably only want to take about 20 thousandths off the bottom, 20 thousandths off that bottom, and then the balance off the top. I may change my mind. Same thing with the side cutter. We're going to pull that back up to where we're taking 40, 50 thousandths off the side. We want most of it to come off the outside to square it up straight. Matthew's going to set them outboard, and we'll probably pick them up with a tractor, move them back around here, and run them through one more time, hopefully, and should be it. So let's get set up. We're going to run them again. Okay guys, welcome back. We're all done. We had a customer come by and picked up a bunch of cedar we run, so I may have lost track where we was at, but took 4 passes to get this what I consider just about perfect. We started at 2 3/8 by 8 3/8, and we finished up at 1 7/8 by 7 7/8. Perfect sidewall on both sides. You can see here the joints go together good. He's going to take this to somebody to build him a dining room table. I would a whole lot rather start with this, building somebody a table, than what we started with this morning. This is square, it's true. He can run it on his table saw and get a micro finish edge, you know, right before he puts it together. Should make building a table a whole lot easier. I'm quite happy with it. The wood's super hard. That's why we was only taking a little bit off, as well as we didn't want to. I wanted to end up as thick as possible with 2 sides clear, and that we accomplished that goal. Like I said earlier, this is a once-in-a-lifetime log, and we're treating it with respect, just like it was mine, even though it's customers. We're going to do the best we can with it. So we're going to bundle up, get it out of here. Maybe the next video you'll see is this big old pile of hickory. There's 4 bundles in there that we're going to run them all S4S, and then we're going to run about 600 square feet of flooring, and then the rest of it will be tongue and groove, V-groove. Should be some beautiful stuff. It's going in a man cave. I hope to see it when it's done. But guys, appreciate you watching. You got any questions, comments, leave them in the comment section. Do my best to try to answer them. We've enjoyed this process, from getting the wood, dealing with the homeowner. That was a pleasure. Him and his wife, they're overjoyed with this. It don't mean nothing to you, but I know where they live, up on the side of the mountain. Got a beautiful place. If you've ever rode up I-26 and you see the waterfall coming off the side of the mountain, that's pretty close to where they're at. And this fell down there in the hurricane, and they was willing to spend the money to make something beautiful to put back in their home as a keepsake. And we're glad to be part of it, the process helping them. Love to see the table when it's finished. It'd probably be gorgeous. I'd love to build it, but Matthew and I just do not have time. There's not enough hours in the day to take on a woodworking project. But big shout out to Matthew and Solomon, as always, doing our videos. If you enjoy watching these, give them a comment. They work hard on them. I get the easy part. I get to talk. I could learn to do editing, but they're so much better at it and willing to do it, and I'm thankful for it. Don't forget Solomon's YouTube channel, Third Beard Fishing. For you guys that don't know, Solomon is my son-in-law. Him and my daughter live in Florida. We normally try once, twice a year to take a week off, go see them. We're thinking about doing that soon. We'll let you know. We'll make sure and take plenty of videos. But big shout out, as always, to Wood Mizer. They're a big help to Bearded Lumber. If you need anything, give Joe Maine a call. He'll be glad to help you out. Blades, equipment, information, whatever. His phone number will be in the description. And Whining, of course. Now, Whining made this machine in 1990. So that's excuse me. It's 35 years old, but Matthew and I trained on a brand new machine. It's very similar to this. They really hadn't changed it a whole lot. They've modernized it, put a few safety features on it. This machine actually had more computer on it than the new one we trained on. It was completely manual, other than the automated start. This one, I have to start each individual motor. On the new one, you just had a start button, and it would cycle each motor until it got them all turned on. Other than that, it was manual. And that's all you need for one of these. If you was in a big production mill and you change back and forth a lot, there's some things they make that would really make that easier. But what we do, we generally S4S, tongue and groove, V-groove, hardwood flooring. I'm not interested in doing a lot of molding. We will do shiplap, stuff like that, but there's not enough linear feet most of the time in doing molding to make it cost effective. I mean, we'd do it, but you'd go know you've been here. There's a lot of setup time, a lot of run time, getting all that lined up perfect. This we got down pat. We can do it pretty quick, but As always, guys, appreciate each and every one of you watching. Don't forget, if you want a hat, you can go to beardedlumbernc.com, and we got them for sale. That's going to do it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back at the mill.
Thank you for watching. Here's a video selection and a playlist suggestion. Click here to subscribe for more great content. We'll see you at the mill.